For Faith Filled Friday today, I decided to start off with reading a scripture, Jeremiah 17:10 of the Message Bible. In this scripture, it says, "But I, God, search the heart and examine the mind. I get to the heart of the human. I get to the root of things. I treat them as they really are, not as they pretend to be." So for Faith Filled Friday today, I want you to ask yourself, what does God see when He examines your mind? What does He find when He searches your heart? What does He hear when He hears you speaking? Because what He's telling us in this scripture is, I don't see the surface you. I don't see who you put on. I don't see who you pretend to be. You cannot fool me. I'm God. I see you to the core. I get to the root of you. I see everything good and bad that's in your heart. I see everything that you think in your mind, and I hear what you say because it comes from your heart and mind. Because what is in your heart eventually makes it to your mind, which eventually comes out of your mouth. So in this moment of reflection today, on this Faith Filled Friday, are some things in your heart that you don't want Him to find? Are there things that you've been thinking lately, whether you're on the job, at home, out in public, that you may not really want Him to know that you think those things? Are there things that you're saying that are coming from what's at the core of your heart that maybe you shouldn't be saying because they're not aligning with you being a child of the Most High God? They're not aligning with the fruit of the Spirit. They're not aligning with what His Word has called us to be, which is walking every single day in love, and only in love towards Him first, and then ourselves and others, and loving others like we love ourselves. That is the greatest commandment. So what's in your heart? Is there anger in there? Is there frustration? Is there ill will towards other people? You got to check your heart. What's in your mind? What is it that you're thinking? What is it that you're speaking? What are the things that God finds in you? That's what I want you to think about, because only when we can do that and take a reflection moment and say, when He looks at my thoughts, what is He seeing? When He looks into my heart, what is He finding? And then what you have to do is say, okay, God, I begin to take some inventory of some things that I'm not so happy that you're seeing, or that I am happy that you're seeing. It can be either way, but those things that only you know about, that are at the core of you. What God is saying in this verse is, I see that. But He also is so good and so gracious and so loving, is that what He sees at the root of you, if it's not of Him, if you allow Him, He can pull it up from you. He can pull it up out of you, so that therefore your thoughts will begin to change. So your actions will begin to change. So your mind will begin to transform, and your speaking will begin to change. Because God is a God of grace and mercy, and His love endures and lasts forever. All you have to do is take that moment of reflection and say, God, I surrender the things in my heart and in my mind that are not of you. And I give more of myself to you, and more of my heart to you, and more of my mind to you, so that I can be a direct reflection of who you called me to be, which is your child. When people encounter me, I don't want them to see the pretend me. I want them to see the me that you have called me to be and made me by your perfect will. So take that moment of reflection and remember this: you can hide to people, but you can't hide to God. He sees you. You can't pretend with Him. He knows you to the core. And it's a good thing, because all He wants to do is make you better. Be blessed And I'm hoping that this word has changed your life today. Have an amazing Friday.